Good morning and welcome to another video, and this is the Road to the British Champs episode 10. That's double figures. Right, I didn't make a video for this series last week because I was very ill, so we have a lot of catching up to do. And we're caught up. Now, today is a Monday, which means it's the big session of the week. I'm standing on a road to film this, which is probably the worst idea ever, like cars keep driving past. And I keep getting annoyed with cars for driving past, but it is a road. It's kind of like jumping in a pond and being like, "Friggin' ducks, what are you doing? Get out of my way." Anyway, like I said, today is a Monday, so it means it's the heaviest day of the week. And today I have triples. I've got to do, I think, 6 and/or 5 sets of triples, working up to an RPE 9. For the squat, bench and deadlift, my gym opens in like 20 minutes or so, so I'm gonna get in the car and see you there. Right, I'm very happy with that. That was 5 plates, 220 for 3, and it felt really good. Like I did that 2 weeks ago for 4, and it was harder than it should have been. It was like a 9.5, maybe an RPE 10. So I thought I'd be a little bit more conservative today. Obviously coming back from the illness and stuff, but I feel really good, and I reckon I'll watch it back, but it felt like the last rep was like an RPE like 8.5, I reckon. So I'm very pleased. Right, bench press, triples again. Let's go. So 152.5 for a triple, and I felt the last one was pretty hard, I guess. Maybe an RPE 9.5 if I'm being generous. I'll watch it back and decide. I'm stupid, I went to the toilet immediately before that and washed my hands, and although I dried them, they just felt like they were sliding on the bar, so my grip started off, grip finished up wider than I wanted it to be, but it's fine, I'll take it. It's I think it's actually a rep PB, which is pretty cool. Yeah, weight is getting back up again, so that's good. Right, deadlifts then. Let's get out of here. I'm done. And that was good. I think going for 250 was probably slightly optimistic, as a couple of weeks ago I did 245 for 4 reps and it was like a massive, massive grinder if you watch the last one of these videos. So I'm really pleased to get that. And actually it wasn't too bad. Like, I misgrew the last rep. I think I let the bar roll away, or the bar went somewhere weird basically, so came out of line and I got stuck on the floor, but as soon as it moved it felt fine. I knew I had it, so I'm pleased. Maybe like an RP 9.5, I'll watch it back and decide, but yeah, it's good times. Right, let's go to the car and talk. So this week's topic is going to be powerlifting equipment. Equipment, is that the right word? Accessories, like clothes and stuff? Stuff. Powerlifting stuff. What stuff is out there? What do I use? And what would I recommend you guys use? Now, conveniently, my gym bag is about 5 inches from my hand, so I'm gonna go through the stuff that I have. Let's start from the bottom and work our way up. We have squat shoes. Now, squat shoes serve 2 main purposes. Firstly, they give you stability, so they have like a nice firm heel, which means that you don't wobble around. It's very common to see like beginners wearing trainers with massive like squidgy, like foamy heels, and when you watch them squat, their ankles are all over the place, whereas a squat shoe is going to give you a nice firm base. On top of that, they tend to have, so you can see here, like a raised heel. So what that does is it allows you to get into depth easier. So by putting your foot at this kind of angle, like leaning forwards, what it means is you can get more forward knee travel. You don't need to have as much flexibility to achieve that, and essentially it makes squatting easier. Now, in terms of whether I would recommend them, there is one big disclaimer here. It kind of depends how you squat. So if you are a low bar squatter, so someone who has not much forward knee travel, is more of a posterior chain kind of guy, then squat shoes aren't going to do much for you because you don't really want that angle. You're more of a kind of sitting back kind of guy. So in that case, I wouldn't recommend squat shoes. What I'd recommend is just some nice, like really kind of thin, rigid soled shoes, like literally plimsolls, like Converse type things. But if you're more of a traditional style squatter, someone who does have a lot of forward knee travel, like an Olympic lifter for example, or the way I squat, then I would definitely recommend them, because like I said, it does make squatting a lot easier. Next up, we have knee sleeves, and you are fortunate that you cannot smell through the screen because these freaking stink. Like, it's getting to the point now where people are starting to smell them across the gym. They're horrendous. But anyway, again, they serve 2 main purposes. The first one being performance. So because they're so tight, particularly if you get like a kind of a size down, they allow you to get more of a stretch reflex. So someone like me who squats to full depth, who literally bounces your hamstrings off your calves, having a real tight knee sleeve is going to give you a pretty big advantage. It's akin to like a set of wraps, and so in that case they are very useful. Furthermore, they provide a lot of heat within your knee. So the structures in your knee, like the ligaments and the tendons, don't have a huge amount of blood supply. By wearing a pair of sleeves and keeping them on throughout your session, some people even wear them like half an hour beforehand, they make your knees really, really warm, and that promotes blood flow, which A, reduces the risk of injury, and B, just kind of helps performance because your knees are nice and like fluid and ready to go. Like when I take mine off at the end of the session, my knees are freaking sweating out, and that is why my knee sleeves absolutely reek. So yes, I would definitely recommend you guys getting them. Now, these are SBD ones, which are like pretty much the most expensive ones you can get. They do cost a lot of money. Off the top of my head, something like 70 quid, which seems ridiculous. Like when I first heard that, I thought, are you freaking kidding me? But genuinely, they're unbelievably useful, and you got to think of it like long term. Like for me personally, I've worn them 3-4 times a week, every week for like 3 years, and they're still going strong. So in terms of value for money, it's obviously there. Next up, we have the powerlifting belt, and this serves 2 main purposes again. Firstly, support. So by having a tight belt around your waist, it allows you to brace against it, which means your back stays nice and straight, and it massively reduces the risk of injury. And leading on from that, it also helps performance because your back can stay straight, and because you can get a nice tight brace, it helps you to bounce out the bottom without leaning forwards, which obviously makes your squat, your deadlift more efficient. Now, as with the sleeves, it's very, very expensive, but I would definitely again recommend getting one. Next up, we have the man over there who's just finished mowing his lawn. What purpose does he serve? To ruin my video. Would I recommend you getting one? No, he's freaking annoying. Right, a couple of quick fire ones. This is a slingshot, or like a slanger, or whatever you want to call it. It's basically like a bench overload facilitator. So essentially, you put it on, and you might have seen it in my previous videos, it allows you to lift a little bit more. So what that means is you can kind of get used to handling heavier weights. It's just like a different training tool. In terms of would I recommend it? Like, probably not, unless you are like a fairly high level powerlifter who's bench pressing like 3+ times a week. You're probably not going to need it at that stage. And lastly, wrist wraps. Now, I don't have any wrist wraps, so I'm going to use my seat belt to demonstrate how they look. Pretty much exactly like that. Now again, these have two main purposes. You're probably starting to see a pattern here. The first one being support. So by obviously strapping your wrist up, doing things like bench press, it prevents your hand from getting forced back and like prevents wrist injuries. And again, as a byproduct of that, it improves performance because by keeping your wrist in a nice alignment, it prevents you from coming right back here, which gives you a better, more efficient bar path. In terms of would I recommend them, I'm going to be controversial here and say no. Like I bench press 4 plates and I've never used them. I tried them like once and I found like they just kind of almost put my hands in the wrong place. Now, I've never had a major wrist injury, so my wrists aren't like mega wide, they're pretty like thin to be fair, so if I can get by without using them, then you guys can. Unless maybe you're bench pressing like, you know, 6 plates, then go for it, but if you haven't got any yet and you're not bench pressing mega heavy, I wouldn't bother getting any. And we are done. I haven't even touched on like wrist straps, you know, like you'd use for like deadlift, for example, because I see them as like, they're like a swear word in my mind. Like I mean, again, unless your training volume is so ridiculously high that you physically can't hold the bar for the majority of your sessions, I really don't think necessary. It's one of those things where if you don't use them, which I don't, your grip will adapt and get stronger as a result. If you end up using wrist straps, it's a slippery slope, and what you'll find is that after a while you can't hold a deadlift bar unless you use them, which is obviously going to be massively detrimental. I'm going home. I've got I'm hoping I've got a text saying I've got it, so I've hopefully got a massive muscle food order, which should be pretty exciting, so see you there. Back home, Muscle Food have delivered, and my God, they've gone mental. Have a look at this. It's got to be the biggest delivery yet. There is a crap ton of food and like meat, vegetables, drinks, I don't know, carb sauces. There's freaking loads. Here's what I'll do. Says, relieve me of the camera, please, my love. So, real quick run through. We've got loads of meat, standard stuff, burgers, sausages, mince, fish, other fish. These are sick. This is like a new thing they're doing, like a stir fry pack. So that's teriyaki salmon with all the stuff in it. So you literally whack it in the wok. It's good to go. That's very convenient. Various other phallic looking pieces of meat. Says chose that one. Meatballs to go with the old tenderloin. Weird muffin things. Drinks that says likes, like coconut, lime.
I think you'd actually like it. Try it.
I already did try it.
Not got sugar.
It's okay, to be fair, it's quite nice actually. Like, I'm just not a big coconut fan, you know? You're actually looking at the camera, is that definitely on me?
Yeah,
I feel like you're not paying attention.
I winged you the other day, didn't you? Because it's too wobbly.
Yeah, so yeah, the last video you watch, there's a bit, like a 10-second portion where it looks like literally the camera is being held by like someone on a go-kart. It's unbelievably bad. That was Sayers. Like, yeah, parsnips, big old tack. Look at the size of those, Jesus. Massive potatoes. Pretty much all the food we're going to need for a long time. Sweet potatoes, butternut squash. This is sick. Canola. Yeah, like Muscle Foods is a quinoa. Oh yeah, I always say that's really embarrassing. Quinoa. I'll just edit that out. Quinoa. So yeah, as always, there is a link to Muscle Foods in my description. If you want to use any of their stuff or buy any of their stuff, then feel free to use that. Use my code as well for a discount. It is very convenient. I always say this: if you're going to buy food in bulk, then this is a very good way to go around it because it's cheap. You can just stick it in the freezer and then take it out as and when you use it, and it saves you having to go to the shops all the time to keep stocking up your meat stores. Why are these bananas part of that? Because that was definitely not in the delivery. Actually, I know why.
Lunch.
That was to support the thumbnail, so we had to balance some things on it. Okay, so we now have to begin the arduous task of putting this all away, and I need to get some lunch because I'm freaking starving. Turns out putting stuff in the cupboards is freaking boring. I was hungry, so we took a break for a sandwich, and what a sandwich. Hello. Pretty sweet, right?
No.
Can't see that. Sort it out,
There
bruh.
you go.
It's a little sick. Right, talk us through the ingredients.
Chorizo, tomato, lettuce, cheese.
Do it again.
Bread.
I'll do the ching ching ching. Go.
Chorizo,
Ching,
tomato,
ching,
lettuce,
ching,
cheese,
ching,
bread.
ching. Sick. Okay. Chorizo, tomato.
Oh no.
That was not good. But I don't care. So this is a triple
A club sandwich,
header.
maybe?
Club sandwich. Is that the name?
I don't know.
What do you prefer, club sandwiches or club biscuits?
Club biscuits.
What if the club sandwich has a club biscuit in it and you get both?
Club biscuits.
No brainer. Well, very good sandwich, sir. Very good. Almost suspiciously good. You're a freak. Okay, I'm gonna eat this, put the rest of this stuff away, and then have a shower because I stink. And I'm gonna end the video here because I think it's very long. So I sincerely hope you enjoyed it, guys. If you have enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any good suggestions,
Don't talk with your mouth.
that is a good suggestion. If you have any good suggestions in terms of topics for this series, then let me know in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow.